All right. So, welcome to our team call. I am super, super excited for this topic. Um, thank Michelle so much for setting it up, and I am going to kick it over to her to introduce Erin.
Thank you. Erin, I met through another Instagram business strategist, Kayla, and Erin had kicked out this 5-day free time management Facebook group that was totally free, all about time management. And that's one of the things I definitely struggle with in this business. So through after day 3, I was like, oh my God, she's got such gems and good nuggets and different ways to look at how I structure my business activity, activities that I asked her she would join a call. So Erin is a study coach, but she actually does more one-on-one coaching on time management. But what I was interesting about her is that she's a full-time musician, which probably helps with her time management skills. But that is Erin. Erin, thank you so much for agreeing to pop in and give us all your good information. So I will just turn it right over to her.
Yeah.
And definitely let us know how we can find you, and we'll do a fun group photo and let us know how to tag you on Instagram.
Sounds good. Yeah, so thanks so much for having me. I'm really happy and excited that, Michelle, that you got so much out of the challenge. I was getting a lot of positive feedback, and it's something I'm really passionate about, so I'm really excited to talk to you guys about it today. I'm going to give you a quick digestive version of the 5 days, because obviously I could be here for hours if I really went into everything. But just to leave you with some golden nuggets from the 5 days. So I'm just going to jump right in. So obviously time is one of the most valuable things we have. I'm sure as Beachbody coaches, you're not just a Beachbody coach, you're also a mom, you're a teacher, you work in business, you are a wife, you have a lot of different things that you are juggling. And for me, I found once I created a time management system specifically, that's when I really started to see success in my business. Success in specifically my music career is really where I started to see it, because I used to have a day job, and then I was working my music business so much that I actually was able to leave my day job and just focus on music. So that's where I really started to see success with the time management system. I'm going to tell you guys about just what I do. And I know for some people, scheduling can seem very type A, and doing an hour by hour, timing of your day. So I know it can seem overwhelming to people, but it's really kind of finding a system that works for you, that you can do consistently, and that you can do consistently and that you can keep up with. And so I'll tell you about a few different things. I actually do most of these things, but maybe you'll pick one where you're like, okay, this actually is a little bit easier for me to handle than doing an hour by hour of each hour of my day. So the first thing I want to say is that I actually started and created my own system from, I'm sure most of you are familiar with Shalene Johnson. She created and I'm not sure how long most of you have been Beachbody coaches, but about I want to say it was 3 or 4 years ago. I've been on her email list for forever. She created this thing called the Push Journal. And through this Push Journal, she basically created a scheduling system for yourself. So you would put in an hour by hour, you would have your top 3 priorities, you would have your push goal, which is basically a goal that you want to achieve within the next 90 days. You would write in your meals, there was a lot. It was probably 3 or 4 pages for each day, which was awesome. And it was a great way for me to start, but I actually found it to be way too much for me. So I created my own version that I found to be successful. So that's kind of where I started. And I just kind of wanted to give you guys some context in case any of you have done the Push Journal before. And if you haven't, it's a great way to get yourself on a schedule if you're very type A like me. So the first day I talked about strategic to-do lists. And I want to stress the importance of having a strategic to-do list, because it's obviously easy to make a to-do list and, like make it 20 things long and then cross the things off. But one of the biggest things that I found is creating 3 tasks, 3 priorities per day that you must get done. So for me, what I do is I have my top 3 tasks. Those are like the things that are like the musts that I have to get done today before I can do those other tasks. So I have my top 3. And then after that, I have probably like 4 or 5 other tasks that would be great to get done today. But if I don't get them done, then it's not the end of the world. I can put them until tomorrow. But that's something that I found to be extremely helpful, because then it's like, okay, I know I got to get these things done today. And that's that. So that was day number 1. I also kind of talked about different time saving things that you can do for yourself. Now, as Beachbody coaches, we do a lot of personal development and things. So you're going to be familiar with some of these, but they are really big time savers, I think, that can help you with your time management, such as meal prepping, setting out your clothes the night before. So then the next morning you're not like opening your closet, like, what do I wear? I know we've all been there. I know I've been there when I'm not super prepared. So like just having little things like that to save time in your day. And just set your day up for success. So that was the first day. The second day, I talked a lot about eliminating distractions, which we all have, especially with social media. And it's so easy to get distracted, even when we are working our business on Instagram. So one thing that I'm still working on that's very difficult for me is not looking at my phone first thing in the morning. Something that I've started to do is set a time limit, because it's just hard for me to not grab my phone. And I've considered putting it in the other room for the night, but we'll see. Baby steps, right? So, so yeah, I'm not sure if many of you are familiar, but there is a setting if you have an iPhone, in your settings, if you go to your settings, there's screen time, and you can actually see your screen time. I'm not sure if you guys will be able to see this. So you can see your screen time broken down on what you spent on the apps, and you can also set app limits. So I honestly think this is really helpful, because I think this is one of our biggest distractions. Even though it can be great for our business and great for our productivity, it also can be the biggest distraction. Also, I think email can be a big distraction. So having certain times of day where you check your email, because it's easy to just get lost in inbox and I know I get like a ton of emails from different people that I follow. So even just having specific times of day where I look at those emails, and then that's it. Because then if I just have it up during the day and I see I get a new email, then I get distracted. So those are a few things that have really helped me. Also, turning off your notifications on your phone. I'm sure a lot of you do that already, but that's something that has really helped me. I used to have my Instagram on, so every time someone liked my photo, it would give me a notification, and it's just ridiculous. So turning those off is obviously very helpful as well. The next day I talked about morning routines. And obviously if many of you are going through morning meltdown right now, maybe you have created a morning routine for yourself. So I feel like I don't need to get into that too much, but one of the biggest things that I've found that has really, really helped me with my mindset, with helping with my goals, with getting me centered and grounded in the morning, is creating a strong and strategic morning routine for myself. So I usually wake up around 6:30, and then I meditate, work out, shower. Then I do my, right now I've been doing my B-book, my Morning Meltdown 100 book. I have a daily devotional I read. Sometimes I journal, and then I read. And that usually takes me about, let's see, I wake up at 6:30 until 8:30. So not everybody has 2 hours in the morning to do that, but finding certain things that fill your cup in the morning and, make you feel good, even if it is just working out and just journaling for 10 minutes or something. I found that it's really helped my mindset and really helped start the day off on a positive note. So even just, and also, oh, sorry, I meant to talk about this with strategic to-do lists. One of the biggest things that I found to be helpful too is writing your to-do list the night before. So if you write your to-do list the night before, you already have everything down on paper that you need to do for the next day. And then the next day, you're not thinking about it when you go to sleep. It's all set up for you. And then you can just get into your day the next day instead of getting to bed and being like, oh, well, I have to do this and I have to do this and I have to do this. So that's something that I found to be a huge game changer. And then the last one, and I know Michelle said that this day was super helpful for her. And I've learned about this through some other entrepreneurs that I've followed. And it really landed for me because, especially being a musician, I'm very right brain. So I have a lot of that creative, artistic type sides of my brain, not so much on the like analytical budget numbers type thing. I've never been good at math. But one of the biggest things that I've also found to be helpful is if, in your business, or if you can strategically plan your week, batching your tasks. So, maybe you create all your content on one day. And so, maybe that's, creating content, making your Instagram stories, anything that has to do with the creative aspect. And then having a day where you run your numbers, you see what your sales are for this month. For me, like, it's more of like my admin day. So like for my music career, it's like putting together all of my outreach for the week and emailing venues. So that to me is like mindless and not creative. So that's something that I keep for more of my left brain type day. So I found that helps me to be more focused. And I think that it would actually help you too, because if our brains are like jumping back and forth between left brain and right brain, I think like your brain will get tired. And I've had days like that where I'm working on something in the morning that's not very creative, and then I try to be creative in the afternoon and it just doesn't happen, and it doesn't want to happen. So those are kind of the main things. I've found that batching tasks has really helped, and I think it'll help you in a lot of ways. So if y'all have any questions or anything, let me know. But that's basically the gist of the 5-day challenge.
That was awesome and so helpful.
Thank you.
How would you batch like a power hour?
Well, because the power hour, I know like some people, like I know especially even on my team, like some people have like specific pockets in their day where they'll do this part of their power hour at this time of day and this part of their power hour at another time of the day. So like for me personally, like if I were to like, coach someone about like doing a power hour, I'd say like, I would say probably like inviting is more for me, like not that it's mindless, but it's something that it's a little bit more repetitive. So it's like I would probably batch that together, and then like have that be separate from your personal development. If you can make them separate, if I think personally, if you are doing one single power hour, maybe start with the creative stuff first. That way your mind is fresh, and then transition to the stuff that's a little bit more analytical and not mindless, but you know what I'm saying, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah. I was just curious if you would split them up in any way, or if you do stuff in like big batches each day instead of everything in a day. Yeah.
I mean, I think it really kind of depends too on like what your time commitment is able to be to, like, say your Beachbody business, in conjunction with everything else that you're doing. So, because I know that it's not possible for everyone. I know some people can only do the power hour every day. So I think it's really just, for me, I think what would be helpful is if you do have only an hour, maybe doing some of the more creative tasks. If you are creating content and stuff, do that first, and then do more of the stuff that doesn't take as much creative brain power.
Awesome.
Yeah, I've started, because that session like really resonated with me, and I was like, oh, that's why I can't get through a power hour to save my life.
Yeah.
Like I literally cannot get through a power hour because by the time like it's like 20 minutes of inviting and I'm like, now I have to find the people who I'm going to invite. Like, and then I'm like, oh my God, okay, let me send an invite. And I get through like 3 invites because I'm like, who's liked my story? Who have I been talking to? Who is not awkward to reach out to, blah, blah, blah. And I feel like now I've started focusing on the invites during the entire power hour because I can't, because flipping between the tasks, like building your network, doing this, doing that, building your content, and then boom, go in and invite. And I'm like, oh my God, my brain is already like trying to figure out what value I'm going to add to my Instagram post today.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that really helped me like restructure. I also have a lot of flexibility in my schedule, so I feel very lucky in that, but that helped me restructure the power hour to where it actually worked for me and not against me.
Yeah. Yeah. I had something to add too, and I forgot. Yeah. And I think, I was going to say something about the power hour and it just escaped me. Sorry. If it comes back to me, I'll let you know.
I also wanted to highlight something that you were mentioning about the screen time. And I don't know if they have this on Android phones, but because I don't like to scroll down on my phone, if everything was in like one screen, that would be perfect for me. I don't know if I'm lazy scrolling down, but it looks like I see the main screen time and I'm like, oh, okay, so these are mostly the apps that I've used. But what you showed us, which was if you scroll down, you can see how many times the first app that you use when you pick up your phone. That to me, I was like, oh, right. So you're like, you need to do something on your phone, but because there's a notification, that's the first thing you open up. And then all of a sudden you're like, wait a second, what the heck was I doing? Oh, I wanted to Google something. And by then you're like deep into whatever app when you turned on your phone. So
Yeah.
I really love this because I was like 31 times today I picked up my phone and I looked at Instagram. So now I'm like, okay, I really need to turn off my notifications, at least like the screen pop notifications.
Yeah.
Or that, because it is such a time suck and it really is so distracting.
Yeah. Well, and something too that I found to be helpful when I really need to focus on what I'm doing is I also turn on like do not disturb on my phone. So then that way, like even if someone calls me or texts me, I don't get distracted. I don't pick up my phone and I don't even see that someone texted me because all the sound is off and everything. So there's lots of tools that the iPhone, and probably Androids too, give us to be able to eliminate the distractions. It's just a matter of utilizing them. So I think that's helpful.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm looking at my screen time.
Right? It's like shocking. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, and like some of that screen time too is productive time on Instagram, but like, there's still times where we're just sitting there and scrolling and I'm like, and you have to like snap yourself out of it. Like, what am I doing? I'm not supposed to be doing this right now, and I fall into that trap, from time to time too. It's hard, but yeah. So, now I remembered I was going to say, that's another thing too, with your power hour too, is, even because I know like with the business activity tracker, they kind of lay it out for us with our timing and stuff, but, even creating a system of how you schedule your power hour, I think is really powerful too. So be like, say, I'm going to start with inviting or no, I'm going to start with creating my content. And then I'm going to, do something else, personal development. And then I'm going to invite for the rest of the time. So just having that strategically planned, I think is also helpful as well. So then that you're getting everything done.
I've also heard
Anybody else have questions? Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Michelle.
No, that's okay. I've also heard people listen to personal development during the workout, which is kind of just too distracting to me, but I love the concept of it.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
can't
but
do
for
it.
me that'd be too distracting too, because I like when I'm working out, I like need to focus on the workout, and I just can't do multitask listening. But if people can do it, more power to them, you know. I wish I could.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
I have a question, Erin.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious, do you follow the business activity tracker to the way it's laid out?
I actually don't. Actually don't really work the Beachbody business very much. I use it more as a tool to my coaching business. So I don't follow the business activity tracker. I'm actually I've been taking a much different approach. I'm focusing more on my other thing, and again as a tool. So I don't use the business activity tracker at all, but it has helped me in my coaching otherwise. But I don't use it, no.
Because I totally relate to what Michelle was saying, how you originally approached your inviting and everything. And I get that because I am all over the place when it comes to doing the power hour. I would love to join Sarah. I can't join Cindy because it's all involving work. But it's just like it's all over the place in 2.5 hours that I have to work my business a day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is why I totally think the time batching is a brilliant idea. You can, because I'm so bad at creating content, but being able to sit down in a block of time and be like, okay, even if I don't have all the pictures, at least I know, at least have a plan for the week of what I want to throw out there. So I'm not like,
How do you come up? Sorry, Michelle.
Was that? No, go ahead.
How do you come up with your plan for what you want to post for the week?
For me?
Erin or Michelle? I'm curious.
Well, for me, since I'm focused, I do a lot of like market research. So I'll ask my Instagram followers like what type of things they want me to talk about, and then I'll create posts on that. But I also sometimes I focus on other things in relation, because I have like 4 pillars that I focus on, which is time management, goal setting, wellness, and mindset. So you know, if it's something within those 4 pillars, which is obviously encompasses a lot, you know, I also get inspiration from some of my personal development that I do as well. So that's kind of where I started. But one of the things, because I used to, like a long time ago, like create my posts daily, and I found from the batch tasking, it's just much easier if I'm like, I put on some like good music and I'm in the zone and I'm just creating my posts one day for the entire week. So then that way it's like all of that is done, all of it is planned, and then I don't have to worry about it the rest of the week. Does that make sense?
Schedule them out, or do you post them yourself?
I post them myself. So I use Planoly. And I don't necessarily always have my pictures right away. But luckily with Planoly, I'm not sure how many of you use Planoly, but with Planoly, you can put a little placeholder. So you can write like on the placeholder, like what you want the picture to be. And then you'll be able to put your caption in there, save it. And then when they actually send you a notification when it's time for you to post it, and then you can post it to your Instagram. They do have auto posts for Planoly, but I personally don't use it just because I just feel like it's probably not going to have an error and it'll probably post fine, but you just never know. So I would just prefer to post it on my own. But I found that that's a super helpful tool. It's like $9 a month, which is really nothing. And it really just kind of helps you see how your feed is going to look. And all of your posts and everything can be right in there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And Michelle?
I use Plan, which they won't auto post, and I don't auto post, but it does give you kind of like the idea of what like your top 9 is going to look like and what you wanted to post then. So I try my best to kind of like plan what is going to be posted that week. But I mean, I steal mompreneurs like posting ideas schedule or what's going on in the team for that month to kind of like drive interest in those coaching opportunities or the new challenge coming up, things like that. But also I blend in like kind of like what you were saying, Erin, about the pillars, like I blend in things that are outside of my fitness and wellness life, like things are going on with my family or my stepson or my mom or, my personal life, etc. So I try to have like a schedule. So every Saturday I'll post about a family. Every Sunday it would be meal planning. Like every Monday is this. I try to be as consistent as possible. I'm not 100% successful, probably more like 60, but it is a goal. But I will say it definitely helps to have that plan in place because then you're not scrambling. And that gives me so much anxiety.
I agree. No, it is good to have a plan because then it's like, then you don't have to think about it. Like when it comes to the weekend, you're like, oh yeah, I have a post. I have everything written. I just need a picture and then you're all set.
That is a good idea.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Cindy, you got a question?
No, I do it the opposite. You guys do at nighttime, I always do it like one day at a time. And I find pictures that speak to me because I always do 3 posts a day. I do some type of a motivational, I do some type of a food because that's my big thing. I love cooking. And then I do some type of a transformation, business related post. But I scroll through like Pinterest and positive things and whatever speaks to me, that's what I know that I'm going to use. And then I just write about it.
You sound very creative.
I'm not creative at all. The only thing that I have going for me is that I have a really good story because I lost a lot of weight with horrific, circumstances. And I love to write. I just love writing. And so I don't have I'm not like a good business person or, anything like that. I just sort of, what do you call it? Go by the fly or
Fly by the seat of your pants?
Kind of girl, yeah.
I think you got more of a plan in place than I do.
Yeah, I don't think so, Sarah.
I think it's working for you.
Well, thanks.
So Erin, where can we find you on Instagram? And I'll definitely share this in the team page as well.
Yeah, so on Instagram, you can find me at I am Erin McAndrew. I'll put it in the chat.
Oh, awesome.
So then that way you have it. That's what I'm most active on. I also have Twitter. If any of you do Twitter, I'm the same handle on Twitter. And then I'm on Facebook too. I don't know, Michelle, if you tagged me, but I probably wasn't able to be tagged because I'm not in the group, right?
I don't carry my phone all the time, that's why.
But yeah, any of you can message me on Facebook if you have any other questions or any interest in digging deeper.
Oh, okay. God bless you.
And then if they wanted to check out the 5-day free group that you ran that I fell in love with, is that still open?
So I still have the videos up now. If you want to get in on it, I can definitely add you. All I'll need is your whatever email address you use for Facebook. I'm probably going to take them down soon. So if you want to get in on those videos, get them while you can, because it's definitely going to be, I'm creating a paid course based on it. So that's probably going to be, I'm going to still probably do a free challenge, but it's not going to have nearly as much value as this one did. So yeah, so if you do want to get on it, just message me and let me know. You can find me, if you just type in Erin McAndrew McKittrick, yes, I have two Mick last names because I married a McKittrick and my last name's McAndrew, or my maiden name's McAndrew. So, but yeah, that's how you can find me, and just message me if you want to be added, and I'd happy add you.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Of
Yeah.
course. Thanks for having me on. This is great. It's always cool to see different teams and like how different everyone is, you know. It's so cool, you know, how different their Beachbody coaches like come in all shapes, sizes, ages, colors. It's really awesome.
Yes, for sure. It's one of my favorite things.
I know.
All right, should we picture it? Should we IG picture
Yeah.
it? All right. Face forward. All right, I'll be sure to tag you.
Awesome. Thank you so much,
Yeah.
Michelle. It was nice
Thank
to
you.
meet you all.
Thank you, Michelle. Will you post that in our thread?
I will.
All right. Thank you.
Of course. Have a great day.
Bye,
You too.
guys.
Good night.
Good night.